to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Thanks so much for joining us on this Monday, April 3rd of 2017. My name is Pete Connor. I'm your host for the program. We've got a great show for you today. Our guests today are Dr. Amy Swain from Amy Swain Hearing Centers, and that will be followed by a pre-filmed segment, one that you don't want to miss, on the Sandhill crane migration. As a reminder, we always appreciate your input as to what you would like to see on our show. If there are people that you think need some special recognition, or if there's an event that would need some publicity, please let us know about that. You can do that by contacting us at Owatonna Today at charter.net, or by calling the show's producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. And now we're going to take a quick break for some messages from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back with Dr. Swain. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Greetings from the Steele County Historical Society. We invite you to visit us and enjoy your county's history at the History Center and Village of Yesteryear. Check our website for current exhibits and monthly programs.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection, and welcome, Dr. Amy.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the show again.
Yes,
several
I'm glad
times.
to be here again.
Oh, good, good. A valued sponsor of Owatonna Today, as well as
Yes.
being a guest. Yeah, so it's wonderful. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Some new information, I suspect, is coming from you today?
There's
Some things?
always something new in the hearing aid industry.
Really?
But the latest thing that I've really appreciated is that the Better Business Bureau has put out a paper that's to help the consumer. There's always been so much doubt, and people are so skeptical when they come in to see me, partly because there's been so many people that have been in town that have sold hearing aids, and then they leave town and don't stick around, don't take care of their patients. But one of the things that really I thought was great is this paper. It's the Consumer Tips for the Hearing Aid Industry. And if you searched that online...
Have that. I'm going to put this up in... Okay.
Yep.
Oh, you got it.
If you
Okay.
search that online, search it just like that, Consumer Tips for the Hearing Aid Industry. It's by the Better Business Bureau. Otherwise, the link is a very long link, so I'm not going to say that. But Consumer Tips for the Hearing Aid Industry will give you, it's a 2-page document, but it's full of a lot of information. It does start off talking a little bit about hearing loss and who gets the hearing loss, where to go, who to see for those services. But it goes also into, what a lot of people are kind of tired of seeing is a lot of the ads. You mentioned earlier, the direct mailers
Sure.
and things that people get, and what to believe and what not to believe, those types of things. But here's some basic rules. I don't know if we want to zoom in on each of these or I can just read it out loud. But, when you're looking at hearing aid ads, any hearing aid advertisement that sounds too good to be true probably is.
The old tome about so many things.
Yes. I mean, you're gonna hear everything in background noise. You're gonna hear the moon sing, whatever. It usually is too good to be true. And so then when you look at the advertising, some of the ones you wanna kind of take with a grain of salt and not really believe, like when they say thousands of dollars off, or buy one, get one free, usually that's because they're basing their pricing on MSRP, the manufactured suggested retail price, which is ginormous. The pricing on these hearing aids does not need to be where you can get thousands of dollars off on a set of hearing aids. And to buy one, get one free, they're just going to jack up the price and sell it to you for the same price as if you bought two otherwise.
Sure.
So those are some of the things to do. Another ad that I would avoid is the people wanted for a study. Now, I don't know about you, but I happen to know that the studies that are being done on hearing aids are usually at big university hospitals, possibly even Mayo Clinic, but usually it's like University of Iowa, University of Minnesota, those types of things. This is not a bona fide study. They're just getting you in there to try to sell you a hearing aid. So people wanted for a study is definitely an ad I would not pay attention to.
Just to sell?
Yes.
Really?
And this is coming from the Better Business Bureau. This isn't me. This is the Better Business Bureau says stay away from the ones that say thousands off, buy one, get one free, and stay away from the people wanted study. Never believe it when the ad says it's going to restore your hearing to normal. Hearing aids do not restore your hearing back to normal. It's an aid, a hearing aid. It can help you, but your ear is a very unique thing that we were blessed with. And the hearing aids can't possibly do everything that our own ears have been capable of doing. So don't believe it's going to be restored back to normal.
It's like glasses. Glasses will not restore your sight back to normal.
No.
It'll be an aid to see.
Yep,
Right.
it just helps make it better.
Sure.
The thing about glasses, though, is it's like a fixed environment. What you see is concrete, whereas with sound, what gets difficult there is if I'm talking to you right now and all of a sudden a noise starts up back here, the hearing aid isn't sophisticated enough to try to sort that out.
Okay.
Hearing and sight are so different. Here, now this is something that the Better Business Bureau wants to stress too, and this is absolutely true. The longer you wait to address hearing loss, the more likely it is that you will suffer irreversible hearing loss and reduce your brain's ability to process sounds. What they're talking about is auditory deprivation. And what that means is if you go in to see a professional about getting hearing aids and you say, I really only want to buy one, the ear that isn't picking up the sounds actually will lose its ability to understand words. And there's lots of studies done on this in the internet. You can go online and look up auditory deprivation and it'll tell you more information about that. But truly it's easier to get used to a hearing aid early on in the stages of hearing loss as it develops. It's easier to get used to a hearing aid at that point than to wait. Plus you don't put yourself up into this category where you lose your ability to process the sounds.
Sure.
Next on the Better Business Bureau, it says, hearing aids are a tool to assist those with hearing loss, not a cure for hearing loss. We kind of addressed that already in one of the other ones, but it's one of the things they put on their paper. So if you go online for the Better Business Bureau paper, you'll see this told to you a few times in that paper. So it's something to stress, I guess, is what I'd say.
Sure.
What you want to also be aware of is that there's a wide range of price points for different kinds of hearing aids. And so, hopefully you go somewhere where they give you different options, different price levels, so you can find one that fits your budget. Price is important, obviously, your budget's important, but your main concern should be which one's going to do the best job for you. And hopefully your audiologist can tell you that. This is another thing that the Better Business Bureau brings up. Very important. I think a lot of people are not told about this, but you must ask and try to understand what the return policy is in your state. Now, in the state of Minnesota, you have 45 days to return a hearing aid. If it's not working for you, you take it back. Now, at my office, if it's not working for you and you have a hearing loss, I'm going to try to encourage you to try something else. I've got about 10, 12 different brands. We can look at other products, look at different styles, whatever it takes to make you happy. But if I can't make you happy, you do have the right to return it. Now, it also states, and this is a state law, that I'm allowed to keep a certain dollar amount for my time and shipping costs and that kind of stuff, because you do have to ship the product in, and almost all hearing aids are shipped in overnighted. So that does allow me to save.
Is the
my costs.
45-day window specific to hearing aids, or is it kind of a general thing for medical appliances?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
It's specific to hearing aids.
Okay.
I know like some states only have 30 days and some states will give you 60, but Minnesota is 45.
Okay.
So, and I think a lot of people, when they are very unhappy with hearing aids, maybe haven't been told they have a right to do that. So it's something, I know I try to tell everybody that comes into my office that they have that privilege.
Could I ask what happens to a hearing aid that someone brings back?
I send it back to the manufacturing company. What they do with it from there, I don't know.
Okay.
If it's a custom product, there's not a whole lot they can do with it because we've taken an impression to make it fit them. With some of these behind the ears that we're using a lot of, I suppose they might recondition them after 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't work on that end, so I
That's
don't
fine.
know. And then one of the biggest things is make sure that when you, and this again is coming from the Better Business Bureau, I encourage you to look up that article, but make sure you feel that you can trust the person that you're buying them from. Make sure that that person has a good reputation, make sure they've been around for a while, ask questions of friends of yours that have gotten hearing aids before so that you know that you're going to somebody that you're going to feel comfortable with. And again, just to kind of recap, all of this information can be found if you search online. It is a Better Business Bureau article. It's called Consumer Tips for the Hearing Aid Industry. And if you type that into your browser, you should be able to find this paper.
Sure.
And I think it's great, just because people need to protect themselves. It's not a cheap investment. So
Do you have copies of that at your office then to give?
if somebody stops in and wants a copy, I can sure print one off.
I have to ask, if I need a hearing, how do I know? How am I
Well-
going to know that? I mean, my spouse will oftentimes tell me I probably need something, but
Let's put it this way. If everybody in the house says, why is the TV so loud? That's one clue.
okay.
Another thing is if you have to have somebody repeat, they usually get irritated by the second or third time they have to repeat, and pretty soon they're going to tell you.
Okay.
They're going to say, I had to repeat that.
Yeah.
Or if you start hearing people say, well, never mind. When you say what? And they say, never mind, that's a clue.
Yeah.
The reality is that people around you will notice that you have a hearing loss before you do.
Right. And if I can get past my pride, I will then come to see you, and you will verify.
Yes.
Really,
Yes.
right?
And the pride thing is, that's starting to go away. I'm getting a lot of younger patients. I'm getting a lot of people in their 50s
Okay.
coming in for hearing aids because, when you talk about the pride thing, hearing aids can be very discreet and very small. If you had a set of hearing aids in, I wouldn't know it. I'd have to really look.
Yeah.
And so the pride thing isn't nobody's going to see it. But just think about sitting at a table and having a conversation with somebody and you're answering the question in the wrong way. Or you all of a sudden are talking about a different topic. To me, that would be more of a pride thing than having the hearing aid, because I'd want to be with it.
Sure. Yeah,
I'd want to know what the conversation is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the excuse me, at the end of the day, if we do everything kind of according to a process, which is I want to hear better, and I come to see you, and you're going to fit me with the proper appliance that will allow me to go on with my life and, wonder why I didn't do it before.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how often people have said, I waited and I waited as long as I could, and I wish I had done this before.
Yeah, good. Well, great information, and thanks for sharing all of that. And I know our viewers are going to be wanting to know more about that and may give you a call. And thanks again for being here. It's good to have you, and we'll have you back, I know, another time.
You're welcome.
And thanks for your staying with us, and please do continue to stay with us. We're going to be right back now after a word from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
Hi, Eric here from Owatonna Senior Place. Participate in one of the many active fitness classes we have, or hop on the bus for one of our great day trips. We have a variety of programs and activities happening throughout the week. Our goal at Senior Place is to create positive moments for you at a reasonable and affordable price. Don't forget the Senior Place Partnership Program, with over 40 businesses giving discounts and incentives to you for being a Senior Place member. Contact us for more details. Live full, live well, live long.
Hello, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Michael Mager with the Brick Mager Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home.
At Brickmaker, we are privileged to have served the families of Steele County community for 118 years.
Whether you choose traditional burial or cremation, we promise the tribute your loved one deserves with the peace of mind that you require.
We are proud to be part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to Transitional Housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
It's Leanne on the go for the Owatonna Today Show, and I am here all the way in Gibbon, Nebraska. We're here today to witness the annual sandhill crane migration. Sandhill cranes migrate to the Platte River here between Kearney, Nebraska and Grand Island, Nebraska. Let's have a quick interview with Kiana, and then I'm about to show you some truly remarkable sights. And here I am with Kiana Leonard. And Kiana, what is your role here at Rose Sanctuary?
I am the education director. I've been working here for about 7 years.
Okay, all right. And in the background, and I'm just going to tilt the camera a little bit more, we see the Platte River in the background. And tell us a little bit about the Sandhill cranes. How long have they, I know that they're considered to be one of the older living things on this earth?
Yes, they've been coming through this area for thousands of years. In fact, there is a fossil in the northeast Nebraska at Royal, Nebraska that is considered to be around 10 million years old of a crane. Okay. So they're very old.
Wow. Now what kinds of numbers will you see migrating through this section of Nebraska along the Platte River?
We start seeing sandhill cranes around Valentine's Day, and we normally say the week of St. Patty's Day is when we'll get to see the largest grouping of them, and then by tax day they're gone. And within that time period, we're going to see around 600,000 sandhill cranes through here. At peak, we're seeing around 350,000 birds.
At one time?
At one time.
Which is about right now.
About right now. The last count we got a couple of days ago was 300,000, and we've had some nice south winds, so they're coming in.
Okay. Why do they stop here at the Platte River during their migration?
Quite easily. It's the habitat. What they have here is they've got food that they need to put on fat before finishing their migration and starting to nest. They have good roosting areas. You can see what the Platte River looks like while we're here. It's wide open, very shallow, and these birds will sleep in the water. They stand in the water, about 4 to 6 inches of water every night, and then they go out onto the fields to eat. And there's plenty of water for them to drink, space for them to sleep, and that's why they come here.
Okay, so in the very early morning, after they're done roosting on the river at night, they all take off and they spread out to the fields in the surrounding areas and eat. And then at night, which you, dear audience, will get a great chance to see because we have booked a blind, and you'll be able to see the sandhills actually come back in at night to roost. And it should just be an absolutely glorious sight.
You should have a spectacular sunset too tonight. Off this river, we get some of the most spectacular sunsets in the world, and it happens just right here.
Oh.
In fact, what your audience is going to get to see happens nowhere else in the world. This is the largest concentration of any type of crane in the world happening right here in central Nebraska.
Amazing, amazing. amazing. And it's really one of those, if there are things that you want to put on your bucket list or your lifetime list, coming to see the migration of the sandhill crane should definitely be there.
And you should do both morning and evening because it's both totally different. Incredible.
Okay, well, Kiana, we don't have any time left, so that we can still have some time left to see the birds. Thank you so much. And the next shots you'll see will actually be of the sandhill cranes coming in to roost here on the Platte River. Thank you so much, Kiana.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're in the blind. It's almost sunset. And here you see some of the cranes returning from the fields.
I've never tried to look up to that.
This is Barry.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We've got some community announcements to share with you. First, St. Paul's Episcopal Church is having its Lenten speaker series. The Things We Treasure is the theme. It would be Wednesdays from 12:10 to 12:30. The speech is free. Coming up this Wednesday will be the Honorable Karen Duncan, who will be, Judge Duncan, who will be the speaker. Afterwards is a lunch, and that lunch is $6 if you choose. Any funds from the luncheon will be given to the Steele County Free Clinic or to the Crisis Resource Center. You're all welcome. Owatonna, in support of Alzheimer's, presents Art for Hope, Saturday, April 8th, Michelson Funeral Home, South Gathering Room. From 6:30 to 8 o'clock, a social hour, 6:30 to 7:45, a silent auction, and at 8 o'clock, the live auction begins. Silent auction will have fabric art created by area individuals living with dementia made into pillows. Live auction, original wooden chair artwork designed and created by local artists. $20 admission includes light refreshments and bidding number. A cash bar will be available throughout the evening. The live auction wooden chair artists are Lynette Yencho, Scott West, Irene Vasquez, Hillary Underwood, Lorraine Nordley, Christina Kim, Naomi Jurley, Dan Fichten, Beth DeCou, Julie Benjamin, Mackenzie Arndt, and Tyler Aikman. The Steele County Historical Society is seeking interpretive volunteers to act as tour guides, building docents and interpreters for the 2017 tour season in the Village of Yesteryear and the Steele County History Center. 3 training sessions are scheduled April 3rd, 10th, and 17th, all at 1 p.m. Each session is identical and will include classroom training and tour. For more information, please call 507-451-1420 or email Mary Ann Higgins at Steele History Museum. That would be maryann.higgins@steelehistorymuseum.org. And that's going to take care of it for today. Please tune in on Wednesday when during both segments we will have Dr. Shah Khan, and she will be presenting a primer on Islam, and that's a sure one that you don't want to miss. Thanks again for being with us, and I hope you'll be back with us on Wednesday.